Rare photos show the BTS star fully embracing his role as a gentle uncle. Fans are overwhelmed with emotion. What if the most beautiful side of BTS's Jin isn't found under the spotlight, but in the quiet corners of his real life, far away from cameras and concerts? Over the weekend, fans were sent into a whirlwind of emotions after a series of rare photos emerged, showing Kim seokjin, globally known as Jin of BTS, enjoying what appears to be a private family retreat with his brother Kim Seokjung, sister-in-law Kim Arum, and their 2 young children. But it wasn't just the surprise of seeing Jin outside of his usual glamorous appearances. It was how he appeared, gentle, glowing, and completely absorbed in his role as uncle. In one now viral photo, Jin is seen sitting cross-legged on a blanket spread across a grassy hill, with his elder nephew, barely a toddler, asleep in his arms. Jin gazes down at the child with a soft, protective expression while his baby nephew, just a few months old, lies safely nestled between his legs. The moment is tender, human, intimate, and utterly unlike anything we're used to seeing from one of the world's biggest stars. "It doesn't even feel like I'm looking at a celebrity," wrote one fan on X, formerly Twitter. That's just seokjin being family, being love. Sources close to the family confirmed that the getaway took place in a remote nature resort near Gapyeong, not far from Nami Island, a place known for its calm surroundings and dreamy tree-lined paths. The trip was reportedly organized as a simple weekend break for the family, celebrating the recent birth of Seokjung and Arum's second son. And what better way to commemorate such a special moment than by spending it together with Jin, who had been looking forward to meeting his second nephew since the day he was born. According to an anonymous acquaintance, Jin has always been extremely close to his older brother and makes every effort to show up for major family events, even with his busy schedule. He didn't want to make a big deal about this trip, the source explained. He just wanted to be there, to hold the baby, to take photos with his family, and to spend time with his nephews without any distractions. But fans, as always, noticed everything. One particularly emotional moment captured in a blurry but powerful photo shows Jin lifting his older nephew high into the air, the child's tiny laughter frozen mid-frame as Jin beams up at him with a kind of smile usually reserved for someone who's found real peace. The caption? Uncle Jin is not just worldwide handsome, he's worldwide wholesome. Even Jin's brother Seokjin couldn't help but share a subtle nod to the weekend on his own Instagram, posting a picture of the back of a child-sized hoodie embroidered with the words, "My uncle is cooler than yours," tagged only with a winking emoji and the word, "truth." The trip may have been short, but fans say its emotional impact lingers. For years, Jin has been seen as the comedic heart of BTS, the one with quick wit, stunning visuals, and a deep love for his members. But this moment offered a glimpse of a deeper side, one filled with maturity, compassion, and quiet devotion to his loved ones. Many are now speculating if Jin's growing role as a nurturing uncle is awakening his dad's side. Comments like, "Jin would make the most amazing father one day," and "You can see how natural he is with kids. This is his softest era," have flooded online forums, with fans expressing how healing it is to watch someone so famous remain so rooted in love. More than anything, this unexpected glimpse into Jin's family life has left fans feeling inspired, and perhaps a little emotional. We've watched Jin grow from a 20-something stepping into the chaos of idol life, one army road. And now, we're seeing him hold babies, laugh with his brother, and choose peaceful days over popularity. He's still our Jin, but now he's something more. He's home. Whether or not Jin shares more about this side of his life remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, even away from the stage, Jin continues to shine, in the quiet, in the love, and in every little moment that makes a family feel whole. Do you think we'll see more of this version of Jin in the future? Or is he quietly preparing for a new chapter entirely, one far from the spotlight, where lullabies replace encores and love is spoken not in lyrics, but in gentle embraces? But just when fans thought the emotional roller coaster had reached its peak, a heart-melting clip surfaced online, allegedly taken by another visitor at the resort, showing Jin gently rocking his newborn nephew in his arms while softly humming a lullaby. Though barely audible, some fans claimed the tune resembled Epiphany, his iconic BTS solo song about self-love and acceptance. The symbolism wasn't lost on ARMYs. Watching Jin sing Epiphany to a baby feels like the universe coming full circle, one fan tweeted, overwhelmed. He spent years telling us to love ourselves. Now he's gently passing that message on to a new generation, his family. The clip went viral within minutes. Hashtags like hashtag Uncle Jean, hashtag Family Jean Era, and hashtag Jean Softest Side began trending globally as fans flooded social media with messages of love, gratitude, and sheer awe at the transformation they were witnessing. The truth is, fans have always known that Jean had a deep, nurturing side. It's been evident in how he cares for his members, his fans, and even the animals he meets. But something about this particular trip, the presence of his brother, sister-in-law, and both nephews, brought that softness into sharper focus. It wasn't performative. It wasn't curated. It was just Jean, unfiltered and unguarded, being part of something real. And for many, that was the most touching surprise of all. One Army from Indonesia wrote on a fan forum, "This is the first time I cried over a photo of Jean smiling. He looks like he's found a kind of peace that even fame can't give you. He deserves this happiness." The public rarely gets to see Jean like this. Big Hit Music, BTS's agency, has long protected the members' private lives, and rightly so. But every now and then, the world gets lucky. A blurry photo, a 12-second video, or a sibling subtle post becomes a window into a world we're not meant to see. And in those quiet glimpses, we discover the most human versions of our favorite stars. IT raises a question that no one can quite shake off. Is Jean preparing for something bigger than music? Is he slowly stepping into a new role, one that involves family, home, and perhaps fatherhood one day? Of course, Jean has never publicly spoken about wanting to be a parent. But fans are more than ready to imagine it, especially after seeing him cradle a newborn with such tenderness and ease. He looks like he was born to be a dad, one fan posted on Weverse. His smile when he holds the baby, it's not the idle smile. It's a smile that says, "I'd protect you with my life." Another user even jokingly asked, "Do babies understand when they're being held by a national treasure?" And maybe that's what makes this moment so precious. For once, Jean isn't being defined by charts, awards, or headlines. He's not worldwide handsome, the sold-out stadium act, or even the military hero who just completed his enlistment. He's simply Kim Seokjin, a younger brother, a loving uncle, a man holding his family close in a world that so often pulls him in every other direction. As the sun set over the hills that evening, another photo appeared online. Jean and his brother sitting side by side on a bench, baby nephew sleeping peacefully on Jin's shoulder.
No smiles, no filters,
Just stillness.
peace.
Family. And in that one frame, fans saw it all. Where he's been, who he's become, and maybe where he's headed next. What comes after superstardom. What happens when a man who's conquered the world realizes that his true happiness might be found in bedtime stories and baby giggles instead of encores and flashing lights? Perhaps, if we're lucky, we'll find out. Until then, we'll hold onto these rare glimpses, cherishing every soft, quiet moment Jean shares with the world. Because if this is the beginning of his next chapter, whatever it may be, it's already the most beautiful one yet. And as always, ARMY will be there, cheering him on, not just as fans, but as family. As dawn broke the following morning, reports emerged that Jean had personally arranged a small celebratory brunch at the resort's garden terrace in honor of his brother's growing family. It wasn't an extravagant celebrity-style party. No cameras, no formal press, just a private moment among loved ones. But according to a source who works at the location, the atmosphere was glowing with warmth. Jean, dressed casually in a beige cardigan and slippers, was seen helping his sister-in-law with baby bottles, preparing warm tea for his brother, and playing peekaboo with his older nephew, who giggled so loudly that nearby guests couldn't help but smile.